The way I'm literally dehydrated right now because I moved so many books for this video is kind of concerning. If you guys are looking for the perfect fall book to read in the upcoming months, I got you, because that's literally all we're going to be talking about right now. And then also I'm going to be showing you my TBR for this few upcoming months. I'm so excited for fall. Fall is probably my favorite season. I live in Florida, so like fall is just like the perfect timing for like Florida weather. It's like not too hot, not too, I don't want to say cold because it never gets cold here, but it's just the perfect temperature and I just love fall. So yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of thrillers, fantasy, literary fiction in this video, just because I feel like those three genres are perfect to read during these upcoming months. First thing off, I think I'm gonna do fantasy. Series actually I'm going to be recommending is the Scythe series. I feel like this book series is just absolutely perfect for this upcoming fall season, just because of the atmosphere and the characters in the world is just absolutely so mesmerizing, and I feel like these books just feel fall to in my opinion. Also, you guys probably have heard me talk about these books so much on my channel. So this series is a dystopian series. We're following Citra and Rowan. These characters are in this world where there's no diseases, no one's starving. It's just a very perfect world, except there are these people that kind of control the population, and to make sure that the population doesn't get too high, too low, all that stuff. And it's really interesting. I just love the world and the concept. There is a lot more of like politics in the last two books compared to this one. His writing is just so fall coded. I don't know how else to explain it, but I love this series with all of my heart. And I literally just want every single person I know to read the series because it's absolutely so good. And continuing on with the dystopian like fantasy vibes, the next recommendation is the Natural series. This is a dystopian world. This world is very futuristic, obviously, because it's dystopian. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so my dog's just gonna chill back there for a little bit. Perfect. So this series is so good, so fall coded. Sir. Okay. God bless you. Okay, so in this world there are renegades, which are kind of like the prodigies. They have special powers, very just like cool, like they're kind of like the police force in this world. And then there's these groups of people that have powers, but they just don't stand by what the renegades do and how they control the government and the world, basically. I love this series so much. The found family in it is absolutely so amazing, and genuinely some of my favorite characters are in these books, and I think about them so often. It's not okay, but I highly recommend this one for the fall time, just because of the world and like it just gives fall. So the next one is kind of like a fantasy. It is A Darker Side of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I love V.E. Schwab's writing. I think it's so like just unique and very fall coded, I honestly think. And especially this world of hers is just absolutely so enthralling, and like this world is just like so interesting because there are 4 different kind of Londons. One is white, black, red, and then white. And we're following this guy named Cal, which can actually travel throughout the 4 Londons. It's just so unique, and I've never like heard of anything really like it. And yeah, I don't know, it's just like so good. And I already love our side character. I haven't continued the series just yet, but definitely want to soon. And then it's kind of like the same situation where I want to continue the series, but this one is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is actually the first kind of, I don't know. This reading order for this series is absolutely so just like confusing to me, but I decided to start with Assassin's Blade, which I feel like makes sense to me and like how I want the reading experience to go. And honestly, I don't know how to explain this series because it is just so unique and so complex so far. All I can say is that we're following a character named Selena Sardarthian. She is this just like so strong female main character. I just love her already, and I've only read the first book in this series. And this book is actually split up into 5 different short stories before I'm pretty sure this rest of the series actually starts. And I just recommend reading this one first. Even though I haven't read the rest of the series just yet, I just think that it's so interesting to like see and like get connected with our characters through this book. So yeah, also just like the world is so fall coded, so yeah. Okay, next is actually the Maze Runner series. This just like world and like the writing is just absolutely fall coded. If you don't know what this is about, we follow our main character Thomas. One day he shows up in this box, like elevator type of thing, where he goes up into this maze, and he actually gets sent to the Glade, which is basically just like a box with a maze around it. I'll put up a picture because literally I cannot explain anything to save my life. Anyways, but it's just like so unique, and like even this cover is just giving so fall. And yeah, I just love the original trilogy. I read the other 2 books, like the prequels. Didn't really like those ones, if I'm being completely honest. Highly recommend this series. It's just so good. Next is a series I just finished kind of recently, which is the Dance of Thieves duology. Absolutely stunning covers, by the way. Like, if this doesn't make you want to read the series just based off of covers, like, I know we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I do anyways. Mary E. Pearson's writing is just absolutely so like lyrical and just like giving all the fall feelings. And yeah, I mean, I think Vow of Thieves, which is the second book, is my favorite. I just absolutely love the world, and the characters are just next level for me personally. I just love them so much. And then we actually kind of like a sci-fi type of book rack. I don't actually read a lot of sci-fi, but I've been getting into this series, which is the Edward series by Karen McQuiston. I love it so far. I think it's like a 4-book series maybe. I'm really excited to continue it. I actually have the 3rd book on my birthday list, which is coming up soon. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Anyways, this series has a lot of found family, and just like the types of things that happen in this book are just like gives me like the spooky and like fall Halloween vibe that I just love. And yeah, we're just following these characters that get these kind of like special abilities during this like light show. Like there's like a crash of like light. You know, I actually don't really know how to explain it, but just following these characters with their special abilities is just something that gives me fall energy. So if you want a sci-fi book rec series for these upcoming months, totally recommend this one. It's young adult as well. It's just very fun. I'm just gonna do a few more fantasy, and then we're gonna get into thrillers. But obviously the Harry Potter series, this is just so iconic. The school setting, the characters, the world just absolutely give fall. If you haven't read or watched the movies yet of this series, I highly recommend. Like highly recommend this one. Of course, Harry Potter. Then another V.D. Schwab book, Galliant. Her writing style again is just absolutely so fall coded, especially the setting of this book as well. It's kind of like in this mansion, and it's just super creepy. There's like ghosts and like stuff like that. It's so good. I love the writing. Also, like the pictures in this book just like also give fall. Like, does that not give you fall energy? We follow our main character Olivia. She was in this child care system where her parents left her because her parents sadly passed away, but she one day gets a letter from like this old relative that's like, do you want to like come stay at my mansion because like I have space? So that's where she goes. Very creepy. She starts learning things about her mother past and her like just her storyline, and it's just like so good. I think I actually might like this one more than A Darker Shade of Magic. Those are the only 2 books I've read by her so far. I can't stop. Okay, next is like thrillers. The first one is Hidden Pictures by Jason Reluca. This book absolutely gives me fall energy. Like, wait, just like, let me show you some of the drawings in this book because it just gives, like, it gives fall. Like, once again, it gives fall. Anyways, I'm obsessed with this book. Also, his writing style is just so fast-paced. I read this, like, 360-page of book in a singular day. If that doesn't tell you, you need to read this book. I don't know what else does. Follow our main character, Mallory. She takes a job to babysit this boy named Teddy. Yeah, Teddy. This little boy, it's just like, this story is so like creepy and like mysterious. The ending of this book got me 100%, like absolutely insane. Also, of course, fall energy. Just like look at the cover, like does that not give you fall? Next is Local Woman Missing by Mary Rabuka. I want to read more of her books because I did really like this one. Absolutely insane. The ending of this book is literally mind-blowing. I literally cannot believe it at all. I was shocked, to say the least. One day this woman actually reappears. Everyone wants to know what happened to her, but no one is prepared what they will find. Literally, guys. Okay, next is The Institution by Stephen King. I've read 4 books by him so far. I honestly recommend all of the books I've read so far, which is 11/22/63, Misery, and then Billy Summers, and then The Institution. This one for me just really gave me exactly what I needed at the right time. There was found family, there was this creepy aspect. This one isn't really a horror, I would say. This is more of like a thriller, which is just insane. Also, this book is really long, like it's over 500 pages, but I feel like it needed to be that long just because we had to grow a connection with the characters and grow a sense of community where they were in the world that they were in. We actually follow many different people's point of views, but the main one that we follow is Luke's POV, and he is taken from his home in the middle of the night to be taken to this institution, which, first of all, creepy, already just gives that fall vibes, of course. And yeah, he's just sent there because he has these special powers. So interesting. And like, I just love the found family. I actually cried at the end of this book, which I was not prepared to do that, but so good. Next, we have Stay Awake by Megan Golden. This author has become one of my favorite thriller authors just because of her writing and how fast-paced they are. I especially really love this one. I've read 3 books by her so far. This one's my favorite by far. This one, we follow a woman named Liv. She wakes up in this cab that she has no idea where she's going. She has no clue where her stuff is. She's like, where am I going? Why do I not have my phone? Where's my keys? Where am I? So it's just very creepy again. And I've read this book so long ago, but I still remember the ending and it's insane. Also gives very much fall vibes. Same with The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This is probably one of my least favorite books by him, but I recommend honestly all of them because they all give such fall vibes. This one especially gave me fall vibes just because of the setting, because we're in kind of like this mansion again. This is kind of like a gothic thriller. I'm gonna read this little blurb on the cover because I think it explains it so perfectly. At 17, Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope, stabbed her father with a knife, took her mother's happy life. It wasn't me, Laura said, but she's the only one not dead. So yeah. Also, we're kind of following Kit, which is kind of like this house sitter, but also like in kind of like this nurse that goes into people's houses to take care of them. But she actually gets this job with Lenora to take care of her. At first, she's like, do I really want to be stuck in a house with this murderer? Lenora actually never was found guilty, which is insane. Also, the ending of this book was actually really good, and I kind of want to rate it a little bit higher because for some reason I was judging this book so highly. It was pretty good. It definitely gave me fall vibes. Okay, next we're gonna go into some literary fiction. The first one is Britt Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. Honestly, I didn't love this book, but I think that the writing and the characters in this book and just like the overall vibe gave very fall, like cozy book vibes. I really want to buy some of his other works like Beartown and like The Man Called Avo, which just sound interesting to me. So good. This one I feel like is very low on his rated books, but again just gives such fall vibes. Next is The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. This book, this setting, these characters, so good, so absolutely good. Writing just gives such cozy vibes, and just like the atmosphere of this book was very cozy because it was kind of like set in this house where a man called A.J. Fickery lived, which was also a bookstore. So like, do I have to say less? It's just so good. Sorry if the camera angle changed, but my phone died, so I had to plug that in. Last literary fiction book rec for this video is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This vibe, her writing absolutely gives fall vibes. Also just like the setting, like Alaska. I don't know why that gives such fall vibes to me. We're following Lenny, which is actually a girl that is about to move to Alaska with her family, and it's just like how they survive in Alaska, the trials that they have to go through to get through life. It's just absolutely so amazing. And the ending of this book, I was sobbing. So do with that what you will. Next, I don't really know what to put this book categorized in, so I'm gonna kind of like say like literary fiction but also like thriller. And it is If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. This book is very heavily inspired by Shakespeare and his writing and just like his works, okay, is just in this book. But like I feel like that just obviously gives fall. Like Shakespeare, fall. Following Oliver, but we also follow his like friend group as well, as they were in college for like theater. They're theater kids, of course. And we also get like this then and now timeline, but we only get now like maybe 3 times throughout the book where Oliver is actually in jail. And we just follow how he gets to jail, honestly. And it's insane. It's insane. I read this book recently and it was just absolutely fall coded, and I feel like it got me into the fall vibes so quickly and so good. Just so good. Next is kind of another thriller, I guess. I don't know, I'm all over the place. Is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Karen Maniscalco. This book just gives fall vibes because yeah, so we're basically following this girl where her uncle is actually this person where the police takes their dead bodies to be examined and like how they died and stuff like that. And she's like, I want to be like my uncle, I want to do all that stuff. I love blood, I love cutting people open. Like, girl, I mean, if you say you want to, if you feel passionate about it, sure. Sure. It's just very cozy, even though it's kind of like dark sometimes as well. This is a series, by the way, as well. I'm pretty sure it's like 4 or 5 books, I could be wrong. But I'm really excited to continue it because I loved her writing, I love the characters, and I'm really excited to see where the story continues, because honestly I don't know. Next is actually another fantasy, which that's great. Also, again, I didn't really like this book so much, 6 of Crows, but I feel like a lot of people do, and I feel like I just read it at the wrong time. It has such like high stakes, like cozy vibes. Also, the found family was probably my favorite thing in the book, was just the characters. It's just like this heist with so many characters and so much stuff going on, and I'm like, I was confused half the time. I was kind of like, I didn't really like the ending. The only thing I liked was the characters, if I'm being completely honest. Okay, next is only 3 different historical fictions. So the first one is The Hiding Place by Carrie Ten Boom. Our author is actually the main character in this book, which is just absolutely so insane. So Carrie's family is in the time period of World War II, and she is a family that takes in Jews. Follow Laisel, I have no idea how to say her name, but she just goes through so much in this book. Again, we're also in the same time period as World War II, which just makes the whole book like just devastating. Also, the ending of this book, insane. And another historical fiction is Sold on a Monday by Christina Morardis. This book, oh my goodness, my heart was crying. Is that even a thing? Can that even possibly happen? I don't know, but we're basically following this reporter where he is sent to make this story. He kind of has like this free story to put in the paper one day, and he's like, okay, let me just drive around town, see what I can find, you know, find an interesting storyline. And one day he comes across the sign of 2 children for sale, and he takes a picture of it with 2 kids next to the sign, and that story just kind of like booms. Like it's a big story. Okay, he gets super rich. He's just like, oh yeah. It's great. Eventually people want a follow-up story about the characters. That's when stuff starts happening, guys. Oh my goodness. Also, the ending of this book was crazy. And that was all the recs for this video. So now I'm gonna get into my TBR. There's a little bit less of book variety just because I know I'm gonna be buying books. I know I'm gonna be getting books for my birthday. So like, I honestly doubt that half of these books are going to be read just because of how many books I'll probably get in the future. The first one is Throne of Glass, of course. I want to actually continue and maybe finish the whole series by the end of the year. Honestly, probably not. That's probably not going to happen. I'm so excited to continue the series. I've already talked about the first book, so I'm not going to talk much about it, but absolutely so excited. Next is actually kind of like a random one for me, but is 1984 by George Orwell. This is like a dystopian type of book. I have no idea what it's going to be about. I kind of want to jump into it blind, but I've heard just like amazing things about it, and people always say that they have to read it for school. I never got that book assigned to me, so reading it now. Next is One for My Enemy by Olive Lee Blake. This book just gives fall vibes to me. I don't know why. I've heard such amazing things about her as well. So excited. Next is actually Red Rising, which if you don't know, I kind of like soft DNF this book a few months ago, maybe in the beginning of the year actually, but I just want to love this series. I just really do want to, and I think I could with the right timing, and I think the fall and the winter timing is just like timing. Perfect timing. Next is actually Fable by R.F. Kuang. I am so excited about this book. I just think that based off the cover, based off of the reviews I've heard, it just gives such fall vibes, because I'm pretty sure our main character goes to this university, Oxford, and it just, that sounds like fall in a book. So next is The Nightingale by Christina Hanna. I am so excited for this one as well. I know people cry during this book, which I feel like they just need a good cry once in a while. Is this book like 500 pages long? Yes, but I'm still really excited. Next is The Future Is Yours by Dan Fry. I'm pretty sure this is like a dystopian, maybe. Honestly, I know nothing about this. It just sounded really cool at the time when I read it. But yeah, I don't know. Sounds really cool. It gives like fall energy. Same with Five Broken Blades by Mia Cortland. Obviously, this cover is giving fall, just like in a book cover. So like the inside, giving fall. Also, I just love fantasy during the fall time, and I feel like this book is just absolutely perfect because it's about a heist and about characters that people really like. And obviously, I'm just gonna really enjoy it. It's actually a book which I've had in my TBR for so long now. It's probably been like almost 2 years, which is The Wilder Women's by Ruth Emmy Lang. I've heard literally nothing about this book at all, but I don't know, just like this cover, again, gives me fall energy. and just like the writing from just like the little blurb gives me like very like fall vibed writing, which I'm so excited about. Next is How to Walk Away, which is a literary fiction book, I'm pretty sure, and I really like the last one I read by Catherine Center, so I'm gonna read another one. And yeah, I need more literary fiction on my TBR, so that is what we have. I have Four Winds by Christina Hanna. If you're like, Lily, what is that cover? I actually decided to paint over it because I just had like the version with the non-dust jacket on because I got this from the Goodwill, and I was like, yeah, I want to make it special, so that's what I did, and I love it. So yeah, anyways, this is historical fiction again, just like gives me fall energy. And then same with All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Dornier. This book also gives me fall energy, so yeah. Also did get at the same thrift store with the other one where some random person wanted to take off the stupid dust jacket, and it's like, that's rude. I wanted that, so I didn't get that. Oh my goodness, that was the most talking I probably did in my whole life. That was so many books to talk about. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this book video. I hope you guys got some TBR recs, some just fall books that you should definitely read in the upcoming seasons, especially for like September, October, November. Those are just like the fall coded seasons for me personally, and I'm just so excited. I love fall. I already said that, but you're gonna hear it so much. I also want to do a fall coded reading vlog, so tell me out of the books out of my TBR for the next few months what books you would like to see in that reading vlog. I'm so excited to read all of them. You guys know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys so much, and Jesus loves you too. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.